welcome to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and today we've got an exciting show for you. We are talking all about women in the business, in the contracting business, in the building business. It's all about women businesses today, and we're excited to be talking about that. It's hot, it's summer, it's hot. There's a lot of construction going on in Houston, and it's a great time to talk about the construction industry and how women are impacting that industry. If you miss any of today's show, you can catch us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. And as always, you can like us over on Facebook at Facebook.com/Houston Real Estate Radio. This segment, I want to talk with Susan Repka. She's come into the studio to talk with me today, and she is from the Women Contractors Association. She's their executive director. She has over 17 years in experience of consulting with small businesses on supplier diversity, certification, and strategic planning. She's interviewed hundreds of women business owners in a variety of industries, including professional service, construction, and manufacturing. So today we're going to be talking a lot about women in the construction industry. You don't see a whole lot of women in the construction industry, but you're starting to see a lot more, right, Susan?
Yes, there are a lot of women-owned businesses, a lot of women that are looking to start in the construction industry. There's a program at U of H for construction management, and we actually have quite a few young ladies in that program.
Do you see that a lot of the women in the industry have taken over their family business or their dad's business, or do you see more of them starting their own business?
A little of both. A lot of times the company has been in the family for generations. It may have been even the husband's business that he was either unable to run for a reason or passed away, and they've taken over.
Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about the organization, the Women Contractors Association. You guys are local organization here in Houston?
We are local, which is the Houston and surrounding area, which is, when you look at the way the city of Houston describes that, it's Harris and the 7 surrounding counties, and we have members all the way around that area. We offer programs for them. We offer educational. We offer networking. We try and bring in speakers that talk about upcoming projects. We have Judge Emmett coming in. We are looking to have the Super Bowl come back in. People don't understand what type of construction goes around preparing for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of your contractors, they're working with the city, they're working with government projects?
Yes. We have a lot that are doing projects with the Houston Independent School District as well as with the city of Houston.
Okay, very good. So what do you see as the main challenges for women in the construction business? Because there are still some challenges for women out there in the construction business. Let's talk about some of them, just a few of them.
Well, construction is still very much a good old boy industry.
Especially in Houston.
Yes, we have a lot of cowboy hats and men not called Bubba in this. And the women often have a harder time getting certified. So the certification means that an entity has gone through and ensured that company is 51% owned, operated, and controlled. The City of Houston has their own certification program. There is a national certification program through the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. Mm-hmm. And, I spent 15 years doing certification, and a construction company would come through, and we looked at that really hard. Was that woman really owning the company? We would go out there and interview them. Can they read the blueprints? So we knew that they were out there.
So it's not about how the company is structured and what percentage they own. It's how much of the work they actually do.
It is both. You have to be at least 51% owned. Mm-hmm. You have to be managed by a woman or women, mm-hmm. And that legal control as well. And so that's where they'd get into a little trouble sometimes if their legal documents weren't right. But the problem is with the City of Houston. They assume that if it's a construction company, it's male-owned, and that male is running that company, and she's just a front. And that can be very challenging for these women who are truly running their company to get that certification that they need to do a City of the Houston project.
Mm-hmm. And right now, I know one of the challenges in the construction industry is finding labor. A lot of people are getting older in that industry, and you don't have a lot of young people coming into the industry.
There is definitely a gap between those the workers who are on the sort of downside. They're retiring soon, mm-hmm. and you don't have those younger people coming in. Construction is not a really sexy industry to get into. They want the corner office. These young people, they're going to college, they want to come out and they want to work inside the air conditioning. But construction can be a great way for them to pay for college. Construction, you can get a 4-year construction management degree where you're not necessarily out on the job site all the time, but you have that, you're managing that construction project. And we do have some young ladies that are in that degree program or have just graduated that we work with.
How do you or does your organization work to get young ladies who are leaving high school to go into the construction field?
Actually, you almost need to start in middle school. And so we're looking at opportunities where we can participate in job fairs and we can go out there and show them that these companies are owned and operated by women and they're very successful companies. But if you don't recruit them at a very young age, they may not have taken the necessary classes. You do need the math skills and that type of.
Do you see that a lot of? I mean, I know women who are inspectors. I know women who own plumbing companies. I know a lot of women who own businesses out there, and they're not your real tough women as you stereotypically think of them. A lot of them are not the women that you would think of as the type of women who go into the military and the type of women who go into the police force. They're not that stereotypical woman. Anybody can do this job, right? You don't have to have the hammer in your hand.
You don't have to have the hammer in your hand. You have to have a really good business sense because it is a business.
Right.
You have to be able to read that blueprint. You have to be able to successfully put together a bid package or plan the financing. One of the biggest problems in the construction industry, especially when you're doing commercial, is cash flow. A subcontractor submits all of their paperwork to the general contractor, who then submits it to the project owners, let's say HISD. HISD has 30 days to pay the general contractor. The general contractor has another 30 days to pay the subcontractor. You're looking 60, 90 days out.
Yeah, you better have the cash flow.
You better have the cash flow.
Until you get your check.
And yes, that is one of the biggest, that's a really big challenge.
And a lot of companies don't want to work for the government and large organizations because of that issue. If they work job to job, and rely on those paychecks, they can't do those big jobs.
They can't do that. And if those general contractors are not paying on a timely basis, and we've actually, as an organization, the president, vice president, and I have met with HISD and said, you know what, you've got to make your general contractors pay at that 30-day mark, because these subcontractors cannot exist if they're not getting paid the money that they're owed.
Are there still ceilings for women out there?
Yes, there are. A lot of the women-owned businesses find that they can't get over the 5 million mark, or they can't get over the 10 million mark, because they and a lot of it we bring upon ourselves because we are a little bit of a type A personality, control, and they're not able to delegate, and they're not able to let go of some of that control.
What do you think are some of the things that well, let's talk about this. I know a lot of women go into these bidding meetings, and it's a room full of men. What do you tell those women to help them to have the confidence if they know their stuff and they have the ability to do it, but it's very intimidating to go into that meeting and actually do it? What advice do you give them?
Basically, you go in there and you just stop before you go into that meeting. You tell yourself, you know what, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be intimidated, and a lot of these men try and intimidate them. I'm not going to be intimidated, and you know what? I'm really good at networking, and I'm just going to use this to my advantage. I am going to go in here, and I'm going to make some contacts, and I'm going to, just ignore the negativity in the room and focus on what I know I can do.
You have to make some strong allies.
You know what? You find that many of the women end up working very closely with someone who may not have been very positive when they first met them, but they say, "What, you do a really great job," and that's what we want.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Susan, it sounds like you guys just have a great organization over there. I know you guys have been around since the mid-1990s, a long time.
Yes.
Doing some great work over there, helping women in the construction industry. It's the Women's Contractors Association. If people out there listening think, oh, that'd be a great thing for me to get involved in, how can they get involved in your organization?
Our website, womencontractors.org.
Womencontractors.org.
Right.
Okay.
And, we have several events coming up. I always encourage people to come out, meet our members, come to an event, make sure it's a good fit. I don't want people to join that it may not get a benefit out of it.
Right.
And most of what we focus on is the commercial, but we do have some residential as well.
Very good. Appreciate you coming on. We'll be right back here on Houston Real Estate Radio.
People often find themselves in need of storage and moving, but don't want the hassle and stress. Sound familiar? Well, at Zippy Shell, we make storage and moving easy. Zippy Shell will deliver a storage container to your home or business. You load it at your leisure, and we'll take it to one of our safe, convenient storage facilities. Or ship it to your final destination. We treat your stuff like it's our stuff, because we understand you're not just giving us your belongings, you're giving us your trust. Zippy Shell. Storage and moving that makes life simple.